if this clicks and it works well, he's going to eat. He will eat. He will eat, and he'll eat well. He will be fully well fed if this clicks. The link. Now look, he isn't a Pep player. But what does that mean? He is not a Pep player, but just what the bloody heck does that mean? Because see, this takes me back to Ibrahimovic, and I think Pep will admit, I don't care what Pep wants to say in public and so forth, in private, Pep will admit that his biggest mistake was swapping Samuel Eto'o for Ibrahimovic, one of the dumbest footballing decisions that I think I've ever seen made. And I think when you saw Ibrahimovic coming, you're like, Ibra, the way he plays, his player profile and so forth, doesn't really fit what Pep was about. And you can see that it didn't really work out. Or maybe Pep thought that he could turn or evolve Ibrahimovic's game to really suit the kind of striker that he wants, which is much more in the David Villa, Lewandowski, or the false nine kind of aesthetic. So you look at an Erling Haaland and you look at just the kind of player he is. He's tall. He's a throwback, old school finisher. His dribbling isn't really there. His first touch is a bit questionable, and he doesn't really have the kind of footballing fundamentals that a Cannibal Suarez, a Benzema, an Henry, and so forth have. Even a freaking Eto'o, because those players they had a bit more technique, and they were a lot better on the ball. Specifically, guys like Henry, Eto'o, Cannibal Suarez, and so forth. They were just more adept on the ball. So I'm just trying to figure this out, because 100% what you cannot deny is this guy's a goal scorer. And I do believe that even if you want to bring in Bundesliga tax and so forth, because trust me guys, Bundesliga tax is why Chelsea are still with that brainless moron known as Timo Werner. Even if you bring that in, I still believe, what this guy has shown in the UCL and just the kind of goals he scores, I do feel that there is a natural goal scorer there, because remember, he was still saying what's up before he even joined Dortmund. I think what's it called? Salzburg, was it? I think it was Salzburg where he was even saying what's up, scoring goals for Red Bull Salzburg. So, and in the UCL. So, that this guy's goal scoring has always been there. But, you always have to be wary with these things, because on one hand, if this works, City are going to score a lot more goals. Haaland's going to get a lot of goals, because if you look at the facts of how good De Bruyne is at creativity, how good Silva is at creativity, you also throw in a foot in there as well. Haaland has a better support system than he had in any team he's played in. So you can combine Salzburg, Norway, and Dortmund. The support system and the chances the homeboy is going to be getting, it's gonna be money. Basically, the guys, if this clicks and it works well, he's gonna eat. He will eat. He will eat, and he'll eat well. He will be fully well fed if this clicks. Because my idea with what Pep, I think, wants to do is you always have to evolve as a manager. The way Pep operates with City, it's similar to Barcelona, but there are differences. And I think that's anybody in any field, you have to always evolve. You always have to chop and change. Like, and what's the saying? A smart man thinks he knows everything. A wise man knows that he knows nothing, and he always has to keep on learning. So I'm sure Pep is like, yeah, I've got all these trophies, that UCL, got all these trophies and so forth, but I'm still learning. And I think there may be things that I can improve upon or tweak. So Pep is maybe saying, you know what? Let me go back to that Ibrahimovic thing that I had before. And whereas I may have failed to really get the best out of Ibrahimovic, so I'm really making work in my system, let me try that again. And I'm much older, I'm much more experienced. So maybe in a Haaland, he sees a guy who he's got the goal scoring. Maybe I can improve his first touch. Maybe I can improve his football fundamentals. Maybe I can improve his intelligence, his movements. And maybe I can just improve how good he is on the ball. Because people were like, is that possible? Perfect example is Sterling. Sterling at Liverpool, he had a lovely, beautiful home at the Brick Academy. I almost built him a wing. Yeah. I almost built him a wing in Siberia with a few polar bears and freaking piranhas. So if you can improve Sterling, which is what Pep did, and Pep was a big reason why Sterling was able to have that season specifically in 18-19, I'm sure that he can also help to improve on an Erling Haaland. So you're saying that you've got this goal scorer under Pep, who we know is a great coach and improves several players. If you now combine those things, you could be looking at an extremely dangerous player that not only helps Man City greatly, but really we cannot talk about, wow, is this guy amongst the best guys in the world? That's a scenario. This is the other scenario. What if he isn't as good as we think he is? Just think about it. Cool. You see what's about Salzburg, say what's up at Dortmund. You saying what's up in the Bundesliga where you're given a lot more space and it's literally the Wild Wild West doesn't say much. Luka Jovic said what's up in the Bundesliga. Timo Werner said what's up in the Bundesliga. So if you say what's up in the Bundesliga does not really mean much. And let's be real with you, the greatest thing Haaland really did for me that's maybe say what's up was those 2 goals he scored against PSG. I was like, oh wow, this guy's really arrived. You know, this is the Premier competition, the elite competition against an elite team. And look at how he said what's up. So when he did that, that's when I was like, oh wow, okay, maybe this guy can do something. Could this guy really be that freaking dude? But then, obviously, Dortmund have been struggling. They've not really been able to say what's up and everything. Although he did have an Oregon when they faced against Man City. So I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued because there is a part of me that says that I'm looking at how he plays, how he operates, the fact that he fails the eye test, and I look at how Pep wants to play and what Pep demands from his players and the high technical proficiency that he demands from his players. And I'm like, I don't know how this can work. Then there's a third dimension. So we picked out, the pros and cons. There's a third dimension, which is I just need a goal scorer. I don't need you to combine with the guys, be good on the ball, be intricate and so forth. I just need a goal scorer. Because Pep is like, look, we have this EPL on lock. So maybe with Haaland, we'll just even start part even more. But he's looking at the UCL and says, you know what? I've been so much into this whole false nine. It maybe doesn't work. Because I think what Pep realized specifically in that Real Madrid game is when you need a goal, and you probably need to go route one, you just need to put that ball in the back of the net. And of course, I appreciate my players. I love my players and so forth. They don't have that natural eye and sense of goal that a goal scorer does. And I think this is what maybe Pep and Klopp are now realizing, that you have to respect specialists. What are they saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. Mahrez can't score. De Bruyne can't score. Foden can't score. Do they specialize in that? Because Mahrez is also a very good dribbler. De Bruyne is a very good assister. Foden is very good at carrying the ball. Ilkay Gundogan is a freaking pass. I believe he's a pass specialist. So what Pep is saying to myself, that I know that these guys can get goals and so forth, as well as doing other things, but I need a guy who he specializes in scoring goals. So when it's tough, it's 1-1, it's a tight game, we have a guy who give him a sniff, is going to put the ball in the back of the net, because Pep is like, we create chances. We create chances. That's something that 100% that we do. So if I know that we create a lot of chances, I need to have a guy who, come rain or sunshine, when he's given that chance, through the amazing creators we have, he can say what's up and put the ball in the back of the net. Because at the end of the day, you can have your passing, your Gegenpress, your this, your that. Goals win games. It doesn't matter how you score, it's whether you score. And I think maybe Haaland is like, this is a guy who, when it comes money time, when we have a chance, I have more faith in him putting the ball in the back of the net than a freaking Mahrez or a Foden or a De Bruyne or even a Bernardo Silva. Because these guys, they're not specialists in goal scoring. What I need is a goal scoring specialist. Because look, Mahrez, look at all the amount of chances that Mahrez had, and if he had put away at least half of the chances he had especially in the first leg, City would be playing a UCL final against Liverpool, and who knows what would have happened then. But I'm intrigued. Because let's not mince words here. Haaland will be under massive pressure because you're coming in under name. You are coming in a lot of huge expectation. I have my doubts about the dude because I appreciate him as a goal scorer, but I still think that technically he's lacking. Um, but I'll be happy if I'm proven wrong. If this guy is actually like a much better player than I think he's, and Pep is able to now take his football to the next level. So I'm intrigued to see how, because he has to readjust. This isn't the Bundesliga. That's the first thing. This, you're not coming under great expectation. That's the second thing, which you didn't have. You didn't have as much pressure playing for Dortmund as you will as a prime striker for Man City. That's the second thing. And I think the third thing is this is a different team. City play totally different from how Dortmund play. So he's going to have to readjust his game. He's going to have to now tweak his game. So how long will that readjustment period be? He could come in and he's firing on all cylinders. Or most likely he could be like, it's going to take some time. Let's see what he can do before we can go on fourth man. But look, I'm excited. I think also this is great for the Premier League, Even if I don't rate Haaland as highly as most people do, he's still one of the most exciting young strikers that are out there. So I think to have a exciting young striker come to the Premier League, and I think it's been a long time since the Premier League has been able to attract a young up-and-coming superstar. I think this is great for the Premier League, and I think it's going to bring a lot of eyeballs. But here's the thing that I've talked about, pros, cons, my misgivings. If Haaland works, if Haaland clicks for City and clicks for Pep and it works well in this team, we might need to induct the EPL. Because the UCL is one thing, because I think the UCL is a whole different beast. And I think that is really what Haaland is really here for the Champions League. And it could be the missing piece. It could be the missing piece because at the end of the day, you need to just figure out how to win in games. And maybe Haaland is just that extra piece that they need. But if Haaland clicks, specifically in the EPL, and without hearing that man is leaving Liverpool and then now getting your boy Darwin Núñez in there, we don't know what Chelsea are doing. We don't know what United are doing. We don't know what Tottenham are doing. And even if Chelsea United do stuff, they're so far behind homeboy. EPL could look a little scary because already homeboy has already won 4 out of 5. No one wants to really address the fact that this Premier League, Pep has breastfed it by winning 4 out of 5. But if Haaland clicks and says what's up, I don't know how you beat these freaking dudes, man.